criteria for heat advisories. At some point could even see some excessive heat warnings as those heat advisories, as the heat indices get a little bit worse. But we at least saw some cooling rain. This was not the case last week. Scattered showers were mainly all south of the city. Had a few on the West Bank a couple of hours ago, but most of the rain has been down bayou parishes, coastal parishes, and that has been about it. So most of us stayed under sunny skies. Again, a lucky few got underneath the clouds and rainfall. We will see another heat advisory for tomorrow. Heat indices nearing 112, but that could worsen because we now have higher humidity. It was a little bit lower last week, not dramatically, but a little bit. With that higher humidity and temperatures expected to stay mid and upper 90s, that will send heat indices likely in the range of prompting excessive heat warnings. That could be on the way through the rest of the week. Just know the heat is our main concern this week. Heat indices at this hour have all gone below the levels for heat advisory, and temperatures have even cooled down thanks to the clouds and rainfall south of the city, though Kenner is still at 94 degrees. Dew points lower mid 70s, still some upper 60s, but those values are likely to increase because we now have a little bit more of an onshore wind, meaning winds are coming off of the Gulf, whereas last week we had a little bit more of a northerly wind, so that humidity is coming back. Right now it's at 56% with a dew point of 76 and a temperature of 94. Makes it feel like 107. And notice, while even a light wind, it is now out of the south, although winds I think are going to be fairly light in the coming days with high pressure kind of all over the place. 97 was our high today, well above average, but not quite to the record. Again, a 100-degree record on this date set just 1 year ago. The upper high still very much in control. However, it is in a position to allow a few little disturbances and a bit more moisture around. Not only that, we've got a surface high pressure that is in the Gulf. That is helping to increase the humidity, and while it will allow for those heat indices to get a bit higher in the coming days, a little bit more moisture also allows for at least a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Not widespread coverage, but a few. At this point with the upper high, that's the best we can do. And that upper high looks like it's going to settle almost right over us by Tuesday into Wednesday, Thursday. And that's the case. I think upper 90s are going to be more the norm. This upper ridging continues on to the weekend, but the one that is positioned more over us will start to weaken, becoming a little bit more centered out to our west with this deep upper troughing. Now at the moment, the model's not very aggressive with rain chances with this kind of pattern, but with this kind of pattern, it does place us in what we call the ring of fire. We're on more the outer periphery of that high, and if we were to see any kind of embedded disturbances, it would definitely help us out with some rainfall. Right now though, model's not overly aggressive with our rain chances. Temperatures continue, and even though they will be coming down a bit by the weekend, we are still over the next 6 to 10 days likely to stay well above normal for those afternoon highs. And as far as our rain chances go, maybe picking up a little bit, but only at around 30%, and we are expected to stay below average with rainfall for the next 6 to 10 days. And that means no tropical worries. And in fact, as we watch Ernesto trying to get better organized, we are not in fear for this one. This one is going to briefly clip the northeastern Caribbean before making this turn up almost toward Bermuda. So this one will be staying well off of the east coast. And the good news is, once we're done tracking Ernesto, models are in pretty decent agreement with where it is going to go. Notice elsewhere there really are no indications through this weekend and into next week for any further development beyond Ernesto. And most of the long-range models do keep us quiet in the tropics beyond Ernesto for the next 7 to 10 days. Again, we got to take these sometimes days at a time or weeks at a time, but as we continue through August, it looks like Ernesto, at least in the near future, will be the only one we are tracking. Of course, we're not yet to the peak of the season, but take it a day at a time. 97 our high tomorrow, more mid, maybe even clipping 100 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday, perhaps, and then a few spotty showers as we head into the weekend and early next week.
Okay, thank you, Chris.